actually been 4 weeks, one day short of 4 weeks since I've actually added anything to this worm farm. Didn't realise it had been so long until I looked at the last video. I haven't even checked it really. It's actually still damp, so that's good. A lot of the food's been eaten. Interesting, that compostable bag takes forever to break down, doesn't it? So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to turn the worm farm over. So I'm going to take out that, and I'm going to make this the middle tray. So move that. This here, we're going to empty all this and add this to the garden. This is all the wonderful worm castings. Look how much there is. It's so good. Trying to find something good to scoop it out with. Wow, look at that. Have a real close-up of these beautiful worms. Wow, look at them. I could easily start up a whole nother worm farm with these and give them to someone. I'm going to put a little pile in some of my Enzo pets. I've got 2 Enzo pets in my garden that I can. What have we got there? So this was one. This is a process that I don't know how often I do it, but now that we're videoing, we'll be able to see. So this is going to be the top tray. Now you need to hose this out a bit because we want the liquid to drip through. I don't use the worm juice. Here's the bottom tray, and as you can see, there's not much juice. I just clean that out. So what I'm going to do is just hose that out. Okay, so this is the bottom tray, so that just goes back to the bottom, but we're swapping the next 2 trays around. So that was the middle tray where we got all that amazing castings, and this is the one we were putting the food in, so we're going to put that down there, and then we're going to turn this into the food tray. So what I'm going to do is take a bit of food from here, spread it around a bit, not very much. What I might do, might be enough, I'm going to put a bit of the broken Hessian sack there. I'll turn that over. It breaks down so quickly. That's the good thing with using something like this. If the worms don't have enough food. Yeah, so a month that this worm farm didn't need any attention, which is good if you're on holiday. It is winter. We last put waste in I think it was the 11th of June, and it's now the 9th of July. So I don't have much Bokashi waste, so a friend dropped in a bucket of waste just yesterday by luck. Where is it? It's here. Usually I would put food in that had fermented for a bit because that's kind of the experiment I'm doing. So I'm going to take a bit of the food off the top of this, and then anything that's like onions, and normally I don't worry about I'm happy to put onions in, but they're pretty fresh. So I'd like to get a bit down to some fermented, more soppy waste. That's in here. Yeah, move this a bit. Yeah, I'm just going to put, I haven't drained it either, which it's always good to drain, especially if you're emptying it, but I'm just pulling it out with my hand, so the juice will mostly be at the bottom of it. So, oh, that looks almost edible, human edible. Well, something like that could probably be better chopped up a bit, but let's put it in there and we see what happens. Bit of paper there. Yeah, that's quite a bit of waste, so let's put that stuff back on the top. Push it down. I'll just put that lid on before we start attracting flies or anything. So there, so now this is the top layer for the worms. I'm going to add some dirt, which we do because it kind of gives them a bit of grit, helps them break down. I might even put a handful of this in here. So that's it. So now the important thing to do is cover this. Make sure that it keeps warm. So I'm adding the sacks back to it that were already on it, even though they have actually broken down a fair bit. And I got some other sacks. I put it in water, so it's been soaking, these sacks. Just make sure that you want to cover everything. More important, so you know, when you've got warm weather, we're expecting rain the next few days, so that's damp. It's not very, very wet, it's just damp. And just make sure, another important thing to make sure is that the lid is on tight, so it locks in the moisture. And yeah, we'll come back and have a look at that and see how that's going. Then then what I'm going to do, I've got all this beautiful castings that I'm going to put in my garden. I'm going to take that out to the front garden and yeah, add it. Yeah, so just making sure we've got plenty of worms here. Yeah, we seem to. Maybe I'll put another handful of there's so many worms in this castings. Put a bit there too. And yeah, that's it.